Good afternoon. It is 4 o'clock. Would like to call this March meeting of the McLean County Board's Health Committee to order. I show 4 members present, and we have had a request for a remote attendance. Mr. Tompkins, can you hear us okay? Having conducted the
Yes,
opening
I
roll
can.
call and declared a quorum, good to hear your voice, Jeff, is physically present, I would like to inform the committee that Member Tompkins is requested to participate remotely under County Board Rule 2020 and in accordance with the Open Meetings Act. Notice was received from Member Tompkins in accordance with our rules. Per Board Member Rule 2020, Member Tompkins will be authorized to attend the meeting electronically if a motion to approve the member's electronic attendance is made, second, and adopted by a majority of the members of the committee. May I have a motion to approve Member Tompkins' attendance? Motion by Member Hanson, second by Member Farley. Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? The motion is passed, and the recording will show Member Tompkins is present for the meeting. Sweet. And so we show Member Tompkins, Member Farley, Member O'Neill, and Member Byrne are present. Ms. Taylor, do we have any appearances by members of the public?
We've had no requests this evening. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Now we're going to move on to the consent agenda to approve the minutes of the February 4th meeting and to recommend the approval of any bills and transfers to the county board totaling $830,125.29. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Hanson, second by Member Farley. Those in favor? Aye. Say aye. Those opposed? Welcome to Member Bell. Thank you very much. That motion passes. Moving on to departmental matters. Mr. Tabb from JDC has shown no items for action. Mr. Tabb, anything to add?
No, nothing to add. You have my monthly report. I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have those.
All right, thank you very much. Moving on to item 4B, 1B. Ms. Hughes, I understand that Ms. Sturm is not here and is covering for someone. We have one item for action today. Item 4B, 1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2025 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Tort Judgment Fund 0135.
Yes, the partition will help provide security for the nursing staff. Right now it's open. We have had previous incidents, and we feel this is vital to make sure our nursing staff is safe and other reasons as well as far as HIPAA and safety and security.
Excellent. So there currently is no glass partition there now?
There is nothing around it, no.
Excellent. All right. Any questions from members of the committee? All right. Can I have a motion to bring this to the floor, please? Motion by Member Farley, second by Vice Chair Hanson. And those in favor? Aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Ms. Hughes, anything else to add to your report?
No, that's all. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
All right. Thank you very much. Moving on to item 4B1C, or excuse me, 4C1. Mr. Weil, I see no items for action. Anything to add?
I just want to bring to the committee's attention, if you notice on page 20, I've gone ahead and included the budget assumption numbers so you could see what our annual budget originally was based on as far as census and payer mix, and then the adjustments that we've made to accommodate the construction project, which seems to be going very well. Everyone knock on the nearest wood to you, please. Including our the revenue that we've been able to maintain and the expense management. So far, so good there. If you have any other questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Yeah, if we can come back with numbers like this while we're under construction and down a few folks, then that would be entirely all right. So, any questions from members of the committee? All right, thank you, Mr. Wiley. Moving on, let me scroll back up. Moving on to item 4C, 1D, Director McKnight, we have several items for action tonight. Item 4D1A, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2024 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0103. And do I have a motion? Motion by Member Bell, second by Member Hanson. Thank you. Director McKnight.
All right, this first item is just some end-of-year cleanup for our dental program. So moving some funds, spent funds from staff vacancies, specifically dental hygienists in our dental program, just to balance out the budget.
Excellent, thank you. Any questions from members of the committee? Those in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? Item 4D1A passes. Item 4D1B, request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending the McLean County fiscal year 2024 combined annual appropriation and budget ordinance for Fund 0105. And do I have a motion? Motion by Member Hanson, second by Member Farley. Director McKnight.
So similar, this is for one of our other funds related to some grants that we have. Again, just end-of-year cleanup for this. And moving some unspent personnel funds to cover a training that was done as part of the grant.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions from members of the committee? Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? And item 4D1B passes. All right, so with item 4D1C, we are going to vote first on whether or not to go into closed session. We are requesting approval of an extended leave per County Code 108-53B, closed session if requested pursuant to Section 2C1 of the Open Meetings Act to discuss appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, specific individuals who serve as independent contractors in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or specific volunteers of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee, a specific individual who serves as an independent contractor in a park, recreational, or educational setting, or a volunteer of the public body against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. So we're voting first on whether or not to go into closed session. May I have a motion? Motion by Member Farley, second by Member Bell. Those in favor?
Aye.
We are voting to go into closed session. So a vote for aye votes to go into closed session and clear the room. So those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? I'll vote nay. Okay, so 2 against, 3 for, so we will go into closed session. So if we could please, then we need to clear the room. All right, thank you very much. to order an open session. Did we have a motion? We need to create one. Okay. Okay, can we have a motion, please, to go back into open session? Sorry.
a motion for approval.
Gotcha. All right, so rephrasing, we need a motion for approval of item 4D1C as read previously. Can I have a motion? Motion by Member Farley, second by Member Bell. Any questions? Those in favor, please say aye. 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 Those opposed? Motion passes. Director McKnight, anything else for general information?
No, but you do have my report and happy to answer any questions.
All right.
I really appreciated your report, especially the portion regarding avian influenza, as that is a hot topic right now, right? So as the county board member that represents downtown, and as many people who are aware in downtown, we have a wild crow problem. And as such, I've had local businesses, constituents reaching out over quite a bit of concern regarding avian influenza. Obviously, I know you've shared that kind of some of the efforts that are being done via your report, and in it you say, where is it? You continue to monitor the ongoing worldwide outbreak, and that it is a relatively low danger. Where are we getting kind of these numbers and figures, and who's doing the monitoring for all of this?
Yeah, so it's a really multi-jurisdictional effort. Illinois Department of Public Health and local health departments like us, we're really concerned with the human aspect of avian influenza, and H5N1 bird flu is something that wild birds especially have and is seen in wild birds all the time, but it's an ongoing outbreak since early last year that is making news because we've seen it also in dairy cattle and now also in a few humans who have had direct contact. Over 90% have had direct contact with either infected cows or as part of wild flocks or bird depopulation. So the data that we're getting is from CDC and different Department of Ags that are dealing with the response to this. And so again, the general population, general public, the risk is very low unless they have occupational exposure to potentially infected dairy cows or birds.
Okay. Part of the concern that is being brought up by a lot of these downtown folks, to me at least, is especially regarding all of the bird fecal matter that exists all over downtown. And obviously that's partial, that's a city cleaning issue for the most part. Obviously we have some county properties, but how worried should people be in regard to exposure to this bird fecal matter and possibility of direct contact?
I would advise people to just really, taking out avian influenza. Even, birds carry all kinds of different diseases. So, the precautions that you can take with your shoes, don't wear them in the house, or tracking that fecal matter throughout your house, or spreading it into different rooms. Washing, cleaning, disinfecting your shoes, washing your hands if you have just cleaned your shoes. But the avian influenza itself is, again, a low risk to the general population, and taking those precautions that help us prevent other disease spread is what I would recommend.
Yeah. I also, I appreciate in your report that you mention using social media and various avenues to provide that public education. Would it be possible to allocate funds for social media boosting to bring about greater awareness, to be able to, or on the flip side, potentially do some more press releases about kind of the situation and some of those safety factors. Just, I don't know how many people know what's going on, and so if there's any more public education that we can really spread, I would be very appreciative.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can look into that.
Thank you very much. That's all my questions.
Any other questions from members of the committee?
I'm not an avid bird watcher, but I do have like 20 feeders in my backyard, not because I put them there. Should you ask the public to remove some of those feeders or put them within 10 feet of the home, or not feed them this summer or spring?
Yeah, no recommendations now to change any of that. Really, we caution people to, if there is a sick bird or a dead bird, or really just avoiding any contact with wild animals, but specifically birds in general. So, but you wouldn't need to remove your feeders at this time or place them any further from your home. Just try to limit any exposure that you would have directly to a bird. So there's guidance on IDPH's website if you do find a dead bird of how to properly dispose of it that would reduce your risk of any diseases. So again, H5N1 is one in the news, but birds do carry other diseases as well. But yeah, don't need to remove your feeders at this time.
Just as a follow-up to those two questions, have we had any human cases of H1N1 in McLean County?
We have not, and no human cases in Illinois yet. either.
Okay, so not even in the state.
Yep.
Too. Okay. All right, thank you very much. Any other questions for Director McKnight? All right, thank you very much. Moving on to 4D1E, Administrator Taylor, we have one item for action today. Request approval of an emergency appropriation ordinance amending McLean County fiscal year 2024 combined annual appropriation budget ordinance for funds 0401 and 0135. Do I have a motion? Motion by Member Farley, second by Member Bell. Administrator Taylor.
Thank you, Chair Byrne. This is end-of-year cleanup for two of the departments that come over under the oversight of this committee. So Funds 401, that's the nursing home, and 0135 is our tort fund. And this is just end-of-year cleanup to get those categories in good shape for our annual audit.
Okay. Any questions, members of the committee? Let's call to a vote. Those in favor of this ordinance, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to number 5, other business and communication. Our next meeting date is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025 at 4:00 p.m. Any other items for the good of the order? Member Tompkins, you have anything? All right. Well, thank you, Member Tompkins. We will call this meeting adjourned. Thank you all very much for your service to the county.